Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I can go at any time?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Sean.
Okay, I'm Susan Schwartz. I'm Robin's oldest.
My name is Melanie, and I'm Robin's eldest niece.
Name is John Hoggle.
So I'm Christina. My name is Elle.
My name is Rick, and I'm Robin's brother-in-law.
Robin is my mom.
My name is Abigail Brengle, and I am Robin's second oldest niece.
I am her littlest.
My name is Andy. I am the nephew.
This is Dan Hogue. Robin is my wife.
Okay, this is Ellen, also known as Elsie Mae Marie, and I'm your sister.
This is Erwin, and I've known Robin for about probably 40 years.
35 years, something like that.
Yeah, 13 years.
Maybe almost 5 years now.
I've known Robin since I was born, for 23 and a half years.
20 years.
Almost 32 years.
I would guess about a year. I have known my Aunt Robin 26 years.
Oh, I've known her since, I think, about 1978. Or no, 77 probably.
Ever since she was born.
Robin, on Thursday, Friday the 12th, Mom came home from the doctor's and said, I might be having twins. I'm going to the doctor, to the hospital tomorrow for an x-ray, because they didn't do ultrasounds back then. And that night, Mom went to the hospital, and, of course, Robin was born. And I remember her coming home from the hospital and Mom letting each of us hold her.
Oh, my goodness. My first memory, it's vivid, was when she came home from the hospital as a baby. I was 5 years old, so, I just loved this baby, and I can almost still smell the baby smell.
And we used to all get together. Now that Robin was with us, we now had a big 3.5 club because Robin was a half. And it was so much fun because now we had 4 people, so we could go 2 and 2 on different.
And then she just got cuter and cuter, and was so much fun. And so, even though we were 5 years apart, I just absolutely adored her.
First impression, basically, she seemed really nice and very outgoing.
First time I met, I can't even remember that far back.
When we were very little, she let Abby and me put on her makeup for her. And I couldn't have been older than 4 or 5, and we did a terrible job, and she was a fabulous sport.
Has she lived up to that first impression?
Oh, of course. Even more.
Yeah, actually, we were living in a co-op. I had just moved there. She moved there. She just come back from Alaska, taking some time off from school. We ended up in this co-op, and I think I remember seeing her laying down on the couch.
She let us do her whole face. It gets bossy after that. My work was exhausting.
I think it was the first time I saw Robin was on the couch when we were having the meeting about food service.
If I ever left my hairbrush out, it was used by Robin. She doesn't know whose is whose. I assume toothbrush too, but I'm not sure about that.
And I think the story he's talking about is how she either left a hairbrush at my parents' house or how she used my dad's hairbrush on her own hair.
She's admitted it many times. I lock them up now.
That's why the word hairbrush can probably bring up several memories for them. But Robin leaves things and loses things, and it's just part of who she is.
She is so not organized. She's like a scatterbrain.
Because I think these tangible things are really not a big deal to her, and the more important thing is trying to get where she's going or spend time with whom she's spending time with.
But it makes her so much more interesting. I think if she were organized, then she would be less exciting.
I'm the same way. I'm always losing things.
Really, one of the fondest recollections I have, and I think it also, speaks to Robin's character, is that Ellen and I went on vacation sometime like in 2002, 2003, and left Ben with Robin, Ben the dog. She volunteered for this duty. And Ellen and I were gone for, 3 or 4 days. And when we came back to Robin's house after the vacation, we went to pick up Ben. And we realized, I think it was, that she was giving Ben a bath in the backyard. And we said, "Oh, Robin, you don't need to do that. He doesn't have to be bathed. That's, above and beyond the call of duty." And she explained, "Oh, no, that she'd been doing this every day because she was letting Ben play in a little muddy marsh near her house." And of course, Ellen said, "What in the world for?" And Robin said, "Well, I didn't think Ben was having a very good time here. And so each day when I let him out, I'd let him play in the mud, and then I'd give him a bath," which is what she was doing when we showed up. So even creatures have their comforts so far as Robin is concerned.
Well, she's really nice to all my friends, and she was telling a story in the car to them, and it was, about crayons, which was really, really weird, and all my friends started cracking up, and, and my friends are always telling me, "Oh my gosh, your mom's so nice and fun and everything." So I just remember her laughing.
It's just she always thinks of someone. She always thinks of the other person, it seems. And she is a wonderful listener. I think that is unique to Robin. She is a fantastic listener.
I feel like she's basically willing to do, she's basically very accommodating. She's willing to do whatever it takes to make you feel welcome in the house or feel welcome into the family and everything.
The thing that makes Robin unique in our family is that she is somehow able, when we're all sitting at a table, she's somehow able to stitch together all of our conversations. She is a great connector. She will connect with the person she's sitting right next to, and then she will somehow, just with her eyes, hop across the table and connect something my dad said, for example, to what we were talking about, and then suddenly bring him in. And I think that's, yes, I would say Robin is the great connector.
She also is truly interested in what lots of people have to say, and she's also interested in their input as far as writing music, which is, I think it's a great quality considering the fact that she knows so much about writing music, and she's obviously so much more talented in that department than, most of the people who are around her, or at least I would say she's far more talented than I am, so that she actually wants me to participate in what she's doing is nice.
She has a unique perspective on life. I think she's real. That sounds bad because it makes everyone else sound not real, but I like Robin because, at least with me, she'll tell me how it is. I know that I go to her in controversial matters for her insight because she always thinks of something that I haven't thought of yet. And there's not, maybe not with everyone, but with me, there's not sugarcoating, which is good. I like that. And that's one reason why I feel like I can talk to her about things, is because she will just kind of be open and honest and whatnot. She always has the right answer, the answer with the most integrity, and she's always honest. She is wonderful at giving advice. So
one of my fondest Christmas memories of Robin was actually last year when she gave Noah his wonderful present, when she composed the family musical.
Yeah, the song that she wrote last year was awesome. I mean, we hadn't seen anything like that ever. She kind of stepped it up.
It came about because Andrew is always volunteering to do the dishes, and so it was kind of a song about Andy, and it was a playful take on the Matchmaker song. And then we all sang it. That was really important to me. That was really, really special.
that song, Sean and I sing that song around the house.
Dish doer, do me a dish. We sing it at the house. Yes, absolutely.
I hum that in my head all the time.
It was just amazing. You know, totally inclusive. Thought about everybody. Everybody's characteristics and qualities kind of came out in that song, and that was really impressive because it's completely selfless and for the greater purpose of kind of tying together everybody's unique habits and tendencies, which is so cool.
And now for something completely different.
Purple.
Blue.
I would say yellow. Sunshine.
Susan told me that question. I go, get out of here.
I don't know. It just kind of popped in my head.
If Robin was a color, I think she would be something strong and something passionate. I think she would be red. Robin would be red if she was a color. Yellow. She's a sunny person. Likes to laugh, usually upbeat. So, she's yellow, I believe.
No, if she was a golf club, which iron would she be? No, I kid. She was laughing her butt off on that one.
It would probably be a very warm pink bordering on red color because she's a very warm person.
Oh, no, what happens? Time out. What happens if I don't like my answer? Are you going to, edit it out?
Well, it would be a beautiful color. It would have to be beautiful and shining. So I'm going to go with gold because she is just such a beautiful person inside and out. There you go. That's it.
Okay, I can answer that one now, Reggie. Sorry.
Deep red, deep blue. She's a very rich and fulsome sort of person.
I think Robin would be dark blue because it's a substantial color, and Robin is so substantial, and it also it's rich and passionate. It's full. It has depth. Those are all things I think of when I think of Robin.
Something that these questions haven't allowed us to say much about. It's how funny Robin is.
I think one of the fastest things anybody, no matter who you are, one of the first things you like about Robin is that she's funny.
I mean, obviously she's funny.
Robin has she's changed it over the years, but it used to be a very enormous kind of free laugh, and you could pretty much tell if she was in a room by hearing her laughter.
When Aunt Robin thinks something is funny, the entire room knows it because her laugh is uncontrollably loud in a great way.
Yeah, she is funny. Gay, I think, would be the word. She's just likes a good laugh, and you can, no matter where you are, say in a house or a building, if Robin has enjoyed a good laugh, you'll hear it.
It's just genuinely funny and can turn just about any moment into something funny. And that's very easy to very quickly appreciate and very quickly enjoy.
I would be up in my bedroom at my desk working, and she would walk in there and just harass me. I mean, she would just say funny things and do... I can't even remember what it was that she did, but most of the time I just wanted her to go away so I could do my homework, But so then that sort of developed into her little persona that she learned how to do with these funny voices, and so as the years went on, we used to watch the Beverly Hillbillies, and you've probably seen our Granny. That's how I intend to end this, is with a salute to Granny. And we had the Granny walk and the Granny voice, of course, and the Granny smile, and it was this character that we really just made up. We extended it a lot from that character. This person, one day it was near dinner time, and this person that she was, walked in. We knew our dad was coming home, so she walked into the coat closet and closed the closet and started knocking from the inside of the closet, and then I, of course, got right into it and opened the closet and said, "Come out," instead of "Come in." And then I quickly closed it, and our dad came home, and he walked in the door. He walked in the door, and there's somebody knocking at him from the coat closet, from the inside of the coat closet, just sort of the opposite of the way it's supposed to be. So, of course, I told him, "Dad, you need to, you need to say, 'Come out,' and open the closet door." And so then we would do it in the pantry, in the broom closet, and wherever there was a door, we would go in and shut it and wait for somebody to come by and say, "Come out," as opposed to "Come in."
It allows other people to enjoy the moment that much more, because she's not shy about when she thinks something is hilarious, which is great.
Even, anywhere. She can just make anything hilarious, which is really admirable, which is something that makes everybody, I think, feel comfortable around her.
She laughs with her entire being, and it's spontaneous and oftentimes elongated, and it's very inviting.
I remember one time I went with her to the hospital. Her brother was having some sort of surgery done, and there was a long wait, so I went to be with her, and we were in the waiting room of other people who were waiting for loved ones who'd had this kind of major surgery. And during the course of the conversation, I said something to Robin that struck her as funny, and she laughed aloud, and suddenly we realized this was probably not the place to be acting like you were having a good time, which she mentioned, and then we went out in the hall and found a different waiting room to be in.
If Robin was a holiday, she would definitely be a personalized holiday. By that I mean she would be a birthday.
Oh, if Robin was a holiday, she'd be a birthday, hands down.
She has always tried to make it to people's birthday parties, celebrations, and it's amazing because she remembers people on the day of their birth more so than anybody I've ever known. I mean, people in life come and go, but she's always there. It's quite remarkable, and it's not something to be taken for granted because not a whole lot of people have that.
The last many years, the only holiday we've always been together on consistently has been Christmas and Thanksgiving. And so I think Thanksgiving because it's a no-pressure holiday.
That is a good question. That's a fantastic question. I think Robin would be Thanksgiving because I distinctly remember her praying before dinner, and I remember always liking it because I felt like it reinforced the importance of the holiday. Instead of just sitting down to eat food and be gluttons, we took a moment, and that's always because of Robin. And I love that she cries because I'm a crier. So I would say Thanksgiving.
It's always Thanksgiving or Christmas because I'm with her at least one of those holidays.
Probably like Christmas because, like I said before, she's very accommodating. She's willing to do whatever to make you happy or feel welcome. That's kind of what, Christmas is about.
Christmas, giving, because she just gives. She gives all the time. It's Christmas every day with Robin. I mean, she just gives of herself, and that's it. Christmas.
Christmas. Definitely Christmas. Christmas, there's so much joy and, like, surprise, you know, and decorations so colorful. I think that's her.
I guess she'd be kind of like a combination of Christmas and New Year. If I have to explicate that. You know, she's a giving person. She's like a gift. And she's also something new all the time. Sort of like the New Year. She's hopeful.
Easter. I think it's because Easter is about renewal and rebirth and kind of hope for the future.
Well, a couple Christmases she was really sick. And so, poor thing, she was on the couch. She had mono one year and appendicitis one year. And so those were tough Christmases for her, I'm pretty sure.
The poor girl, yes, when she'd come home from college, she was sick every Christmas, or for many Christmases. Because I think she just, you know, ran herself ragged, and she would get home and just, there were a couple Christmases where she spent it on the couch. But she always made Christmas a happy time, though, just because she's fun to be around. And she's always so thoughtful of other people.
I think the holiday memories I have of her are typically when she prays and she cries, and I always find that to be so sweet and so sensitive, and I really like that about her, that she has her emotions and she doesn't, you know, she doesn't apologize for them. She just is happy.
Oh, yeah. Maybe 2 years ago, we were making banquet, and I had to go to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep, and I was just kind of sitting there. So I went downstairs, and my mom and Aunt Susan are sitting at the table trying to cut plastic off the grate from the stove, because when they were making it, plastic melted onto it. And so they were just sitting there talking, and it was so funny.
Maybe the first time we brought Chrissy, when she was only like 7 months old, to Christmas at my mother's house, and all of her cousins wanted to hold her and play with her. And that's one of my fonder memories. Or even when Chrissy was a toddler. Robin was probably the happiest I've ever known her when Chrissy was young, really young.
I'm not sure how old I was. I'm guessing I was probably about 3 because my parents had just moved into the house they're in now, and I was about 3 when they moved. And I knew Robin from different visits, but I didn't know Ellen that well. I'm thinking. Of course, I can't remember because I was 3. But Ellen came to my parents' house, and I'm thinking it was for Thanksgiving, but I saw Ellen and I said, 2 Robins, because I thought there were 2 Robins, not Ellen and Robin.
Not a specific animal, but like a dog, probably a loyal animal.
Well, I'm going to have to say a Springer Spaniel. She's just so adorable and loving, and she's much more independent than a Springer Spaniel, but she is definitely as cute and cuddly and smart as a Springer Spaniel. Probably a lot smarter than a Springer Spaniel, but okay, I'm going to go.
Well, I can't help but think of Sadie because I absolutely love her voice for Sadie. So I think of the dog.
if Aunt Bugley was an animal, I would say she's a cat, because cats have their paws in so many little pies, and she's so active. So yeah, I'd say she's a cat.
Maybe a rabbit, because she had a rabbit when I first met her. Kind of out of control, kind of like Robin when I first met her.
If it were an animal, it would have to be a very uncommon one.
She would be something tall and thin and something beautiful but not showy. She would be, Robin, if Robin was an animal, she would be a horse.
I don't know. An animal?
There's no wrong or right answer. It's just what comes to mind.
Oh, she'd have to be one of the beautiful thin ones. Not a thoroughbred because they're too hot-headed. Maybe a warm blood. She would be a warm blood.
I'd go for maybe Songbird because of her voice is mellifluous and nicely modulated. So I guess I'd have to go with that.
Here's the thing. I probably would say, I'd say Bird, because she's so musical, and birds, obviously, are musical. But the reason I don't want to say Bird is because I don't like birds. I don't like birds. I find them annoying and smelly and dirty, and that's not Robin.
Oh, yeah. One of the most important things I've learned from Robin is how to treat children, both from watching her raise Christina and from being a child myself and, interacting with her as a kid. I always looked forward to her, specifically her coming over, because I thought, oh, God, someone will listen to me. And because she does, she sits down and she looks you right in the eye for as long as I can remember, probably even when I was, 5 years old coloring horses. And she would take a genuine interest in whatever I was doing and listen to what I was saying and then empathize in some way. And I think it made me feel so important. And, and I think she does that to everybody, but not everybody does that for children. And I know that that's something that I try really hard to do with kids in my own life. And if I ever have kids, it will be a really important thing to do.
Just how welcoming she is, like how she tries to make you feel comfortable and everything is really nice. And just kind of seeing that, makes me kind of be the same way with her and everything like that.
The Fosheims react to adversity differently than my family did. We were screamers and yellers. Her family, and Robin in particular, more are kind of determined optimists. And I think I like that.
It was actually a conversation that my mom relayed to me. We were talking about raising children, and if you could teach your child to be just one thing, what would you teach your child to be? And Robin said, I think I would teach Christina to be honest. And I respect Robin's opinion so much, and so I hold honesty as a very important thing, and that is something I think I learned from Robin, that the importance of honesty.
Oh, how do I say it? It's like patience, I guess, and like calmness as a whole. Because with most situations, she's just kind of mellow and deals with it.
Yeah. To be yourself and not be afraid or worried about what other people will think of you. That people, it's better to have them like you for who you are than for someone you're not. And I think she really helped me out with that when I was a teenager. I remember talking to her at different times, and her really being there for me and helping me through some hard times. And pretty much bottom line is, be yourself and don't be afraid to be who you are. And I still live by that.
I've always, being one of the older ones, always whatever the parents say you do, and I've sort of been a not rock the boat kind of person. When Robin was in college, Mom was very worried because Robin would say yes to whatever Mom said, and then my mother said, but I know she's going out and doing whatever she wants. And that sort of made me stop and think about, well, there is another way, but it's not necessarily learned from her, but it sort of opened my eyes to that fact that, it's okay not to always do what your parents say.
Yes, I think her patience. I'm not a very patient person, and she has patience, so I would like that. Yep, easy.
Her sincerity. Absolutely, her sincerity. She's so sincere about other people and about life.
I guess her compassion, her tolerance and compassion, and her insight. I don't want to say she's right all the time, but her intuitions about people and about the hearts of others is so often dead right that it would be nice to have that kind of quality. She's a contribution to almost any moment. She is kind of heart-lifting in that way. And it would be nice to have that kind of rapport with others.
Her likability. I don't know. There's just something about her. But there's this man at the grocery store who just talks to her about stocks. And my orthodontist, every time she comes in, he gives her a giant hug and a kiss on the cheek. And people are always interested in her and what she's doing and how she's feeling and everything. So I would just like to have that likability.
If I could copy and paste an attribute of Robin for myself, I think it would be the generosity and the attention to detail that she has, wherein you find yourself way too busy to think about somebody else or something else, and that doesn't seem to be the case with her. She doesn't let her busyness affect something else in her schedule. And so, if I could emulate a quality that she had, it would be managing so many things that are going on in life with such gracefulness.
She immediately seems to find something very interesting about everybody, or at least with the limited number of people I've seen around her, but she seems to find it very quickly and to be really, really interested in it, which is a nice quality. It's one of the reasons that people like her a lot.
Oh, you know what she would be? If Robin were a dish to pass, she would be very good coffee. Because because I think, yes, Robin would be a very good cup of coffee.
Piece of food or a dish?
This is too funny.
No, I couldn't talk about a piece of food. That's
Well, something delicious. Definitely a main dish. With complex flavors. And, let me think. Probably with some delicious vegetables in it and very good seasonings. And perfectly cooked. And I don't know what it's called yet. So that'd be the answer.
I don't know, something like an Italian fish dish.
She always makes banquette, and so I kind of think of her of that.
And what is banquette?
It's a pastry that's like, it has like pie crust mixed with almond paste, and it's flaky and delicious, and we have it every Christmas.
No, not really. I would say a smorgasbord. Because she has so many different attributes and so many different strengths that there's just, smorgasbord of food.
No, I don't think of food and think of Robin or vice versa.
She would be an oyster, I guess. Something elemental and rare, I guess.
Yes. Granny's chocolate sauce makes me think of Aunt
Aunt
Robin.
Bugley is the surrogate Japanese member of the family, and she makes this amazing dish called gyoza.
Brussels sprouts. She always makes Brussels sprouts for me when I want them, and they are just delicious. And I love them because not everyone likes Brussels sprouts, and that's not something I make at home ever. I've never made Brussels sprouts because John won't eat them.
That's a very good question. I mean, that's an interesting question. You're right. Other people don't see. I'm thinking perhaps they are not aware of her passion for music. I mean, or maybe it's just that I'm becoming more and more aware of her creative side. Just, I think that's just really the sign of an artist who just sort of can't not do it. And I realize with Robin, she just has to. And she finally found a good outlet with composing, and I hope she just keeps doing it, forever, because I think I'm not sure people realize how hard that is to do, and how talented she is at it. I wish so much that we could get an orchestra together and we could play some of the stuff she's written, because I think it's pretty good. So maybe there's that aspect.
Oh, what I know about Robin that I think Robin might not even know about herself is that she is the beautiful one. We always joke about who the beautiful sister is, and of course, the real answer is we're all beautiful in our own way, blah, blah, blah. But I think Robin is the beautiful one.
I don't know if I'm going to answer your question exactly, but I think one thing Robin and I have a connection over that other people might not see is she and I often reassure the other person. If Robin is stressed, I will say something like, we can only make so many people happy. Or if I am freaking out about something, she'll say, Allie, it's all going to work out. These little aphorisms, is that the right word? I think that's something that Rob and I have, our dynamic. That is something I don't know if other people notice or other people have, but I always find that to be very special. I feel like she and I reassure each other.
Maybe her insight? I don't know if that's a good answer. But like I said before, I always feel like I can talk to her about anything. She has great listening skills. She'll listen to me. She's non-judgmental, which is what everyone should aspire to be. She is just very kind and compassionate, which I think everyone sees. But I also feel like she makes time for people. Even when she doesn't even make time for herself, she makes time for others, even when she's busy. And I think that's something incredibly wonderful.
Is there something that I see about Robin that other people might not see or appreciate? Well, I think everybody sees it, but I don't know if a lot of people can cope with it because she has this amazing ability to juggle many, many things at once. She's super fluent with technology, and she's a very, very busy person, yet she never seems to get flustered by how thick her schedule is, and she always really makes time for things that she thinks are important, and that's kind of amazing. But I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. It's just maybe some people forget.
I don't know that it really goes unnoticed, but her sense of family. You know, the importance of her family to her. I think that's a fantastic quality.
I don't think many people have seen it. Maybe your sisters when you were younger, but when our dog Sadie was sick a month ago, she was just crushed because she was so attached to the dog. I was kind of mortified, actually, because we thought we were going to lose Sadie. And Robin was just so attached to the dog that she was just really quite different. Very vulnerable and sad and kind of more revealing of her emotions than normal.
I see her sometimes as fragile. If that makes any sense? You know, she cries easily, that's one thing. And she's kind of, just kind of fragile. Which I don't think most people see her as usually.
This is one thing I have noticed about her that I don't think I've heard other people say, is that she has an absolutely splendid speaking voice. When the volume is right and she's just talking, she's able to modulate her voice in kind of a soothing and yet engaging way. And I've never heard anybody say that about her. But right from the very first time I met her, it's what I really remembered about her, was that she had such a lovely voice, just a speaking voice.
I would like to thank you for being so wonderful to me, always being there for me, for sitting with me and listening to everything all the crap I've gone through and dealt with, and for being sympathetic and, again, non-judgmental. And I really appreciate that, because that's not something that I can say for everyone.
Cash the check.
Will she know what that means?
Oh, yeah, Susan just like, yes, she will.
I wanted to say, Aunt Robin, I love you. You're one of the greatest people ever. But you already knew that. And so I'm just lucky that I get to say it and that it's trapped forever in time, because you'll never not know that. I love you.
Thank you for being such an important influence in my life, kind of a guiding star. And that's a little corny, but she is somebody that when I think, how do I want to handle this, I think, what would Robin do? So I would say to her, thank you for making such an impression, a loving impression on my life.
Or maybe getting a hug, just embracing her.
If I wanted to tell Robin something that I wanted her to know, I think I would tell her
thank you for being so wonderful. I mean, do I have to say more than that?
You know, I've had 13 and a quarter, well, 3/4 of great years with you. I mean, you're so nice and funny and likable. And I just hope to be kind of like you when I grow up, minus the laugh, which you can hear from a mile away. But still, it's a beautiful quality in you. And I love you, Mom.
Looking forward to helping you write some songs.
Thank you, and you've definitely made coming into this family very welcoming and very easy. Very happy to be in this family.
I think I would say I am just so glad she's in my life. That's it. I'm so glad she's in my life. She's probably the most important person I know. I have. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Hi, Robin. I'm crying because I love you so much. And thanks for being my sister. That's it.
I think she'll love that. That's perfect.
She and I cry together very easily. It's terrible.
Merry Christmas, Buckley. I love you so much. And I hope you enjoy this gift. And I hope it brought some laughter into your day.
A Merry Christmas to the best little sister anyone could have.
I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Buckley.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
Merry Christmas, Robin.
Merry Christmas, Aunt Buckley.
I just want to wish you, Robin, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And I wish you a Merry Christmas.
So Merry Christmas, Robin, and Happy New Year.
Robin, I wish you a Merry and Happy Christmas, and I love you.
And Brengle me, I would like to say, well, Merry Christmas.
Okay, that's enough. I can't really do it the way she can.